What's up, everyone? Welcome to Sky Bees. So, as you can see, a little bit of stuff has happened off camera in between episodes. We did get rid of the cobblestone and put in the blackstone that we got from our little nether adventure. The only other real thing that we did off camera is we set up honey blocks, and this was a process. So, I tried to use the solidifier here, and for whatever reason, it does not like getting the honey from this quantum tank, which we have. Is that 700? No, that is 7,000 buckets of honey. So what I've had to do, as you can see, is this nifty little system here, where these guys won't pull glass bottles or honey. These guys will pull glass bottles or no, this pulls honey bottles, and then it sends the honey bottle over to here. This guy pulls sticks from over here. I moved my stick drawer down, and I have a glass bottle drawer here, which gets pulled by this, and it gets sent to these. I'm actually out of glass bottles, so we're going to need to set that up, and then this guy will pull the honey block and send it to the base or to the storage. So with switching this out from cable pipes to glass bottles, we have actually started to get dragon's breath. And yeah, it's I don't know what we're going to use it for. Let's look it up. Come on. Let's see. We can use it for these dragon bricks, some end shelves, and obviously brewing and halitosis generator from industrial foregoing. Okay. Yeah, not much, really. So with this honey setup, I'm not really sure what we're going to do with the honey inside this quantum tank. I am going to need to set up auto crafting of glass bottles over there so that we can continue to send glass bottles here. So the problem is when this gets honey, it will pull it over here and then send it to this guy. When this guy turns it into honey in the melting chamber, I don't get my honey bottles back. Now there is a crafting machine, I believe. Yep, right here from Cyclic. The problem with this machine, I went into creative to test it out, is you can't pull the buckets out of here. Um, so if we look up honey and we look up the recipes, there's this recipe and then there is oh no, I'm wrong. Honey a bottle. So to get the honey bottle, you can take a that is weird. There it is. You can take a bucket of honey and 4 bottles to make honey, and then we could take these bottles and craft it into a honey block, and we would get our bottles back. But to do that, we're going to need the Tier 1 crafter from RF Tools. This thing requires a machine frame, which requires us to get into Mechanism to make the metallurgic infuser, and I need 2 steel casings, one to actually make the machine frame and one to make the metallurgic infuser, and this requires us getting into blood magic, which I'm not quite ready to get into just yet. So, we're going to leave the setup that we have here. I'm going to keep an eye on this once this runs out of bottles. I mean, I could just craft a ton of bottles and throw it in there, which is what I did. But I've used up like 1,000 bottles to make this, and we don't need a lot of honey blocks anymore. So, as I said, I'm going to keep an eye on this. Once this runs out of bottles, we'll probably put the fluid pipes back into the quantum tank. We can physically take the quantum tank. That one's empty. That was a tester tank. But this one has the honey bottles in it. Um, and we can take our bucket and we can do this manually, and it's just going to be a pain in the butt. But as I said, this does work where you get the honey or the bottles back. So, eh, something to look at in the future. Now, as you guys can see, we did automate a little bit of our energizing orb here. You can put a comparator down with a little bit of redstone magic, and for single craft items, you can put the items in this hopper. It will put them in here one at a time, and then I have this brick hopper underneath that dispenses the items here. And what I would like to look at getting into is a regular centrifuge, the multi-block structure, not these individual blocks. So the centrifuge casing is made with putting a block of steel in the energizing orb, and then the centrifuge controller is 4 casing, 1 centrifuge, a comparator, iron bars, and a block of redstones. So we can make these fairly easy. I should be able to tear this guy out, and we have our started the process. I just need one more casing because I have 38 here. I also made some niotic and spirited crystals while I was AFK. I have a plan of updating this as well as upgrading this. So as I said in the last episode, we're going to want to do some upgrades up here as well, talking about apiaries, but we will talk about those momentarily. Boom, we got our centrifuge casing. So let us grab this centrifuge and we will go ahead and place that guy in there. We'll bring that stack up to 32 and we'll bring that stack up to 36. So let's see. We need to go to a crafting table. And I do believe I'm missing redstone dust. Of all things. I have 11,000. Alright, so comparator, we need 3 torches. And that should do it. Bam. Quest complete, centrifuge controller. Nice. So that is in the bees quest here. We do need to craft a tier 3 beehive. We need to craft a tier 4 beehive, and then we can get into apiaries. Sweet. So we need to kind of tear this system down. I'm going to need to tear these item routers down because these are taking, like this item router was taking items out of this one was taking items out of this one was taking items out of this one. And to be honest with you, we could have done all of that with just one item router. We did not need this many. So I need to pull this whole system out. All right, so we got it set up. This thing is a 3x3x4 tall multi-block structure, and it can do 3 honeycombs at a time, which makes it a lot better than the other centrifuge. This basically took place of the other centrifuge. Now, if we did want to upgrade further, we could go to the elite immediately because we have a ton of netherite. This just requires the centrifuge casing, netherite, and redstone, and then the centrifuge controller just requires the actually this requires an extra elite casing. I'm going to need to make one more centrifuge casing so that we have 36 of them, and then some netherite, some eyes of ender, an ender pearl, and then our centrifuge controller. But we don't necessarily need to get into that yet. That will wait till we get into apiaries. Now, as I said in the end of the last episode, these apiaries are rather expensive. It's 4 tier 4 beehives, some honeycomb blocks, and a nether star. The tier 4 beehive is upgraded from a tier 3 beehive, which is why I need the honey blocks. And everything after that is relatively easy. So, the benefits of having the apiary is it is a multi-block structure. you can put up to 9 unique bees, and then as you progress through the different apiaries, you can get different amounts of material. If we hold shift for information, the tier 1 will give you 8 honeycombs, the tier 2 will give you 16 honeycombs, the tier 3 will give you 4 honeycomb blocks, and the tier 4 will give you an output of 8 honeycomb blocks. And so the honeycomb, this will produce 1 lapis, this will produce a block of lapis. So this is like having 9 honeycombs. It's a very nice thing to get to. Getting to the tier 4 apiary is going to take us a very long time, but I would like to start tearing probably this area and changing it into an apiary. And the one thing that I forgot to mention in the last episode is you can actually take the bees in bottle form, put them in the apiary, and it will pop it out into the multi-block without you needing to do anything, which is very nice because we've had issues. Like you can see this iron bee, he should be in his hive because it's nighttime. These emerald bees are not even close to where they should be. Um, all 4 of them don't recognize their hive. These 2 guys, every now and then we have an obsidian and a blaze bee that just don't want to go in their homes. So, to get to the apiary, we need the nether star. To get to the nether star, what we're going to need is some nether or some wither honeycombs. It's not a guaranteed chance of nether stars, but we need to get that going. So I need to get a wither bee, and to do that, we need to breed a soul sand and a wither skeleton bee, but the wither bee requires a block of nether star. So we need to fight 9 withers. And as I said before, what I would like to do is get the witherite armor. This stuff right here will give us an immunity to the wither effect. There is also this talisman, which is the wither charm, the fire charm that we made in the last episode, the void charm, and the antidote charm. The antidote charm we could probably make pretty easy. The void charm, yeah, we can make this easy. The wither charm, unfortunately, we need some wither roses, so it would be nice when killing the wither if we had some passive mobs here with us. But first things first, let us get into our armor. So we have this helmet that we got from a wandering trader. And as a matter of fact, I need to take this and make 4 ingots of witherite. We can place this in here and 1 witherite, and now we have a witherite helmet. We did get these off a wandering trader off camera. They're very, very nice. So we're going to utilize those. We need to turn them into netherite, and then we can turn them into witherite. And then these things I found in a bastion when we were just cruising around the nether. So we can go ahead and just utilize these for now. And 1 final craft. Boom. So we're going to get rid of these. We're going to go ahead and put these guys on because those are permanent armor pieces. The emerald boots can be retired. The emerald leggings can be retired. And for now, we are going to leave our jetpack on. So I need to fight 9 withers. With 1,200 wither skeleton skulls, we should be good to go. Now there is a neat little way, because we're playing in Java, that we can cheese this. And it's utilizing this guy right here. We should be able to go ahead and break this torch, which is going to cause a little bit of lighting issue. We can place a block pack like this 1 block above the bedrock, and then we should be able to take a little bit of cobblestone, come underneath here. The items are being shot so fast. We need a 3 block tall to actually spawn the wither, so we can do that. And then let's go ahead and make a 3x3 platform. Perfect. So now we should be able to spawn this guy in. And it's going to be a little hairy, as it always is with the wither. We're going to let this guy go ahead and form. And we should be able to go over there and hit him and pop him up into it. Now he's stuck. Now he is stuck. So we can just sit here on the platform and we can kill him. Cheese the wither. Oh, he got out. Well, I'll tell you, this is still an easier fight than on Bedrock. Especially considering he doesn't. I thought I had wither immunity. Oh. I don't have my jetpack on. Or I don't have my thing on. Especially with this being Java and they don't blow up at the end. It's really, really nice. But we do have our Nether Star. We need to do that 8 more times. And ooh, that's what life mending does. Okay, that is a terrible chest plate. Yeah, bye. I guess we're just gonna have to make one. I thought maybe the life mending would, like, end our life. I don't know. Yeah, that modded, right? You know, it's okay though. We have that. We have this. Easy enough. So we put this guy on, and now we should have the full wither immunity. Only bad thing is we can't fly. So, I think what I'm gonna do is look into getting some passive mobs or being able to transport mobs, maybe. And we're gonna get those guys down here and try to get at least one wither rose. So in the last clip, if we did everything right in editing, you guys would have seen me fight a wither, and we put a couple of our extra osmium bees in there to get the wither roses. Um, they disappeared. I don't know what happened to them, so we put more bees in there, and we did it again. And of course, we killed a bunch of withers. We grew, or we have been growing the wither roses, and now we have this charm talisman, which is a really nice thing. You need all 4 of these charms here. So you need the void charm, which is just some nether warts, some endstone. Endstone's pretty easy to get. It's just glowstone dust in lava. These crystallized ambers are made in the solidification chamber with some honey, a fire charge, redstone dust, and a magma block. So we made that. Needed some spider eyes. We have blaze rods and iron, and then of course we needed the wither roses, and then you craft all of those together with some gray concrete and a crystallized obsidian. This guy is slime with a crystallized amber, a wither rose, and obsidian. We use this recipe here, so we now have this nice little charm that makes us poison, fire, wither, and void resistant. Really nice. We also killed the rest of our withers. We got some wither bees. If we go look over here, yep, wither bees, we had these guys going. And then, of course, we went AFK, and oh my goodness, I forgot about the jetpack. Um, we have 200 nether stars. So much easier than vanilla, right? Um, so what I want to work on now that we've done all of that, is I want to get to this guy right here, this tier 1 apiary. And this requires us to have 4 tier 4 beehives. It's going to require some honeycomb blocks, and it's going to require some tier 4 beehives. So we need to take our tier 2 beehives, and we need to craft them up with some honeycomb blocks and some beeswax blocks. That'll get us the tier 3, and then we need to take the honey that we were making off camera along with some more honeycomb blocks, and that will get us what we need. As you guys can see, we tore down all of our bee stuff over here, and somewhere in here should have, yeah, I was going to say, we should have all of our beehives here. So this can hold a maximum of 6 bees, and I've talked many, many times before about the apiary can hold 9 unique bees, and it's a lot faster, and eventually I want to get to this guy here, but for now we are going to work on the apiary. So we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. We are going to go ahead and craft a stack of honeycomb blocks. We are then going to put these back, and then we are going to grab, I guess, a stack of beeswax. So I moved the beeswax here, and we are getting tall grass from growing grass. This stuff we don't need a lot of, so I have gone ahead and put a storage downgrade and a void upgrade in there. And we're also growing wheat and stuff. That's all happening back here. We made grass off camera. And the way you do it's pretty simple. Grab this biomass here, which if we look at the recipe for this, it is just 4 flowers, 4 leaves, and then a sapling of your choice. And then you put it in a solidification chamber with 3 pieces of dirt. That's not what we did. Yeah, we melted it into biomass, and then we used that biomass with pieces of dirt to get 3 grass blocks. And yeah, we still have some extra grass somewhere. Okay. So looking at the tier 1 apiary, we need these tier 2 beehives. So let's go ahead and craft 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And then we're gonna complete some quests here. We're missing honey blocks. Ah. Which we don't have a lot of. But we should be able to do 4 of these, and then we should be able to get a nether star. And of course it's gonna start raining. We should be able to get our very first tier 1 apiary. Nice. Now I also would like to get my hands on the apiary storage, which is just gonna require a little bit of iron. Can I sleep? Very good. It's so fast. The apiary storage is a block that you need to actually collect the items for you. We don't need the apiary breeder at the moment. But it does require the apiary storage to make, so we might as well make it and then go ahead and make another apiary breeder. Right? Because we may be breeding up some more bees. Okay. So we have completed all of these tasks. We've completed the centrifuges. We need to work towards this, and then the rest of the bees is just the honeycombs, which we haven't collected all of these. Now, looking through the bees, there are 61 bees in total, and there are 17 bees that I don't really need to grow materials from, leaving us with about 45 No, there's 16 bees I don't really need stuff from, leaving us about 45 bees that we're going to grow in the apiary. So that means we're going to need 5 of these. And this is a 7 by 7 by 6 tall um, structure. Let's get our bee book, if we can find it. Do we have it? There it is. And bee basics, entry index, apiary basics. There are 4 tiers of the apiary. Each increases the amount of combs generated. It can only be occupied by 9 unique bees. This means that no more than one of each bee type can be inside the apiary block at a time. Uh, as many bees as you'd like can be inside the structure. Often ways keep it going. Da 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 da. There's an import and export feature which I'll show you guys. Here's the apiaries, the breeder building an apiary. Yeah, the size of the structure should be 7 by 6 by 7 so that the interior is a 5 by 4 by 5 as a hollowed box. Uh, Apiary, however, must be placed facing inward, so we need to make sure that we do that. Go to creative and check it out. I've already done that. We can visualize and whatnot the apiary, but it kind of bugs out when you visualize this. So I've actually had the game crash on me. Now, the other thing that you need to make sure of is, let's just look up grass, right? We're using this vivid grass. And if we hold control, we can see block tags. Resourceful bee, valid underscore apiary. We need that right there. If the block is a valid block for apiary, it'll say it there. That is the most important thing. So we need to make sure that we build this out of valid blocks, otherwise our apiary won't work. Let's go ahead and just toss this guy back in here somewhere. Let's clean up our inventory. I was talking about putting these into a compacting drawer like we did the beeswax. The unfortunate thing is you can't break this down crafting-wise into honeycombs. I do believe that we can... Well, we can make a bee nest. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to grab some materials and then I'm going to set up our first apiary over here, at least the structure, and show you guys what's going on. Now, as I was starting to tear out the floor, and you can see I've got a bunch of items on me to start building this apiary, you know, we don't have a shovel. Well, we do have a shovel, but our axe and stuff like that is starting to wear out, and there is this neat thing added by Mechanism called a paxel. And a paxel is a axe, pickaxe, and a shovel all in one. So let's go ahead and make ourselves this paxel. Basically, we only need to carry around one tool as opposed to carrying around a bunch of tools. This thing will do it all. And the neat thing is we can upgrade this to a netherite version, which of course we have 2,000 pieces of netherite. And this is going to be a very, very nice thing. It has quite a decent durability as opposed to the axe and stuff like that. And eventually we can repair it. We're just going to toss those off. So now this thing should work out for us a lot better than digging out this thing by hand. Yeah, perfect. All right, this didn't take us any time at all to put together, but I do believe in the book it says that this apiary needs sky access, so the glass in the top, then we have the glass all the way around the sides, and then as far as this thing facing inwards, you need to make sure that this little part of it is facing into apiary. So you can come in here and you can actually visualize this through the apiary, and then you can hit validate, and it'll tell you which blocks are invalid, which are these 2 blocks here. So when you go to start putting bees in, you're going to take your pollination block and you're going to put it at this level right here. And it gives them actually a 5 by 5 by 3 area to mess around with. I do believe, like if we look at end iron, for example, This guy right here, it does say it is a valid apiary, so we could put it in the floor if we wanted to. The only issue I could see with doing that is every time you put a bee in, you'd have to come in here, rip up the floor, and that would destroy your apiary, quote unquote, and you'd have to revalidate it. And I'm not sure if we'd run into the same issues with the bees coming out and not really recognizing this as their apiary as far as the ones that are in here. So you can put your block in here above the floor. And then again, another issue with this right here is if you had blocks like this, just kind of scattered around and a bee pops out and it lands right here and it knows that this is its pollination block, it'll sit right here and not go up to the top to pollinate it. So that is another issue that we have to be aware of, that we need to make sure that we go through these 45 bees and we decide the 9 that we want to put in here, and then we put all of their pollination blocks. Now this thing said it only can have 2 bees at a time. I'm actually going to grab, um, let's see, where's our nether star block? There it is. We can go ahead and grab this. We can grab our bees, and I'll show you guys at least how this thing um, works. So put this guy here. We will close this thing off, and then as you can see, this thing it's ready to go, right? We have our apiary storage, which can only hold a few items in it. Um, there are these breeder upgrades, but what are the other upgrades? Ooh. We'll have to look at these. We have the breed time upgrade. We have the breeder upgrade. Adds additional breeders to the apiary breeder. This means we can have multiple breeders in here if we had it. I didn't actually put the breeder in place. So let's do that. There we go. So the breeder, we can put different like the speed upgrades. This still takes a long time to breed, but you can put a jar like our wither bee in here. We could put this wither bee in here. We could put another star and another star here, and then jars. And then down in the apiary storage, it will give us a fully grown wither bee that we can actually put out to the world. We can use it for breeding, whatever we wanted to. That's a real nice feature. As far as the storage goes, I think we can upgrade this internal storage into a decent size. And then, of course, we have the bee itself. So you can put the bee in here, and you can press import, and it has 500 ticks right now. And then this guy will shoot out into the apiary, which is really nice. And then if you want to pull bees out, I think you can do the same. We're gonna figure that out right now in 200 ticks. So yeah, this thing is really, really nice. And what we're going to do for the storage is we're going to use the item routers, and we're going to be pulling items out of it. We're going to be sending those items over to the centrifuge and then sending them over there instead of having the item collector from Cyclic. So he's in the hive. Oh, we have to unlock him. Okay. And yeah, we would have to wait. So this guy's going to go instantly to pollinate. He's going to come back in here. And then what we're going to need to do is wait till he's in here, and then we can export him. I mean, we can break this and we can go in there and we can put stuff. I do believe that, let's look at our doors that we're using. Which are right here. And they are a valid apiary block, which is really nice. So we can lock him in here, and then we can export him and pull him out, which is really, really nice. We don't have to go in there other than placing down the pollination blocks. So that is the basic overview of apiaries, and originally I built this platform to house 4 apiaries, not really knowing what we were doing, and I looked up bees. We'll look this up real quick. This does kind of lag out a little bit. And there's 61 of those guys, and we want 45 of them. I forgot to light up the top there. So you hit F7 and you can see the spawnable blocks. Let's just do that. And eventually this guy will go away. uh, so we did quite a bit of stuff. Oh, I also did make the infinity wand, which is a nether star and 2 sticks. This thing is very nice to use for building. So we've done some stuff. We built the apiary. We've cleaned up a bunch of stuff. We built a bigger centrifuge. We fought a bunch of withers. We've got a whole wall of storage drawers here that we're going to have to do something with. And yeah, I think that's going to end it for us today. I do have plans of redoing this whole base actually before we get out of here. Let me show you guys a neat little trick. And we're going to have to do some sifting, but let's just grab one of our ancient spores. I want to redesign the base, right? I want to get rid of these platforms, and I have an idea of what I want to build. It should be able to house the apiaries properly, and it's going to look really cool, but this bedrock is in the way. This is a starting bedrock, and the only really thing that we need it going further is obtaining this flux dust. We have to have the obsidian with the piece of bedrock underneath it, but it also shows here that we can use a flux block. So yeah, we should not have to do this recipe anymore, provided that we can make a flux block, which shouldn't be too hard for us. No, it's just 5 pieces of flux, so we have plenty in here. So I want to get rid of this bedrock, and the way we do that is by right-clicking ancient spores on here. And it turns it into mycelium, and then we can mine it up, and the bedrock is gone. How silly isn't that? I might leave one piece of bedrock right in the middle, and this is going to be the center, the starting point of our base. And that's just going to be there for originality, I guess, but I'm going to get rid of all of the rest of this, and we're going to build ourselves a nice little platform-based base, if that makes any sense at all. But as I was saying before, I hit a button, don't know what it did, doesn't matter. That's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, if you did, please make sure to hit the like button. Helps me out a lot, lets me know that you guys are enjoying these videos. Make sure you click the notification bell while you're down there clicking the like button. While you're down there checking all that out, check out the description for all the different ways to follow me, including Twitter, Twitch, and Discord. My Patreon link is down there as well. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.